So the goal of today's video is to throw the 100M laser 100 meters. I honestly don't like my odds at all, but we just got to trust the form and freaking launch one. Come on. Hey, what's up, disc golfers? Today on Weird Stuff Wednesday, I've got the 100M laser, 100 meter laser from Quest AT. This is a very bizarre and unusual disc with a very strange, very domey profile. But what's interesting about the dome on this guy is you can actually push it down and make it a puddle top. So you can go puddle top style or super dome style. And not only does it have an adjustable dome, which is so weird to me. I don't know if this was intended, but that is what it is. Like, I can just push that down and it'll stay like that, or I can push it up and it'll stay like that. This disc also features golf ball dimples on the top and bottom of the disc, very similar to the Quest AT T-Bone, but this disc features dimples on the top and the bottom. And yeah, let's give this guy a few throws. I'm actually really excited about this disc. Oh. Something about discs that have that absurd amount of dome, they have this like really slow but mega glidey flight. Like, they push slower through the air, but they stay in the air for much longer. And I really noticed this flight characteristic with my UFO Superdome Destroyer. And I already can tell after the first throw, that's got a very, it doesn't go nearly as far, I can already tell, but it's got a very similar like floaty UFO-esque flight characteristic, which is super fun. Now, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I was unable to find a single video on the platform of YouTube featuring the 100M laser from Quest AT. Again, maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't find anything. And that actually made me pretty excited that I could, use my platform to share this disc with you guys. I think the history of disc golf, Quest AT in particular, is very interesting. They did so many unique things with disc golf technology and made so many unique and fun discs that I think it's really cool to be able to, use the platform to help educate and share such a cool disc with you guys. So the goal of today's video is to throw the 100M laser 100 meters. We're gonna do a few more warm-up throws to see how it flies. And then I'm really gonna rip on one and see if we can push this thing out to 100 meters. It's pretty flippy. It really wants to get like the nose down and die. We've got a big headwind right now. I might be able to stretch it a lot farther with the tailwind, I'm hoping. So we'll get a few more throws with it, and then we'll see if we can push this thing out to 100 meters. For those of you who are not familiar with the metric system and don't know how to convert, that's about 328 feet is going to be our goal. I think my odds are better with the domier modification here. I don't think the puddle top's going to help get me any distance. So we'll continue to work with the Super Dome here. We'll throw it down, we'll throw it back, and then we'll have one attempt to throw this disc 328 feet. I'm hoping these golf ball dimples can give me the speed I need to hit the goal of 328. Wow, it's got a nice flight and a really good line, but holy cow, that thing just wants to like get down quick. I think for me to get a lot of distance, I've really got to increase the launch angle and almost aim up in this like big red tree here and just hope to get a big left to right turn, because it just wants to fall out of the sky so quickly. Now, Quest AT also produced a 10M or 10 meter brick, which I have to assume is a really slow and overstable kind of throwing / approach putter. So if you guys want to see a review of the 10M brick, I've actually found a few online retailers that still have some in stock for pretty cheap. So I would be happy to buy a couple of those for a video if you guys want to see a review of those as well. All right, we've got one more practice throw here. What I'm going to try and do is I'm not super worried about the flight, but I really want to get that launch angle up. So I want to go nose down, but with a higher launch angle. Probably a bit too much launch angle, but I'm going to need something like that and then throw it significantly harder to hit our goal. I was watching that live stream Brody was doing, and he made some really kind of helpful and interesting observation and sort of coaching tips and techniques in regards to, not only nose angle, but also launch angle. I think a lot of us worry so much about the reach back, the footwork, throwing nose down, but none of us have really been addressing launch angle. And I think that is a super important metric to pay attention to, particularly when you are just trying to throw far. If you're someone who lives in an area where you have a lot of open courses, you get to throw as hard as you can, and you really want to stretch out your distance, I think that launch angle is probably in the top 3 most important aspects of the throw in general. Because if you can get the nose down, like a few degrees of upward launch angle, you're going to stretch that distance out so much more. So I definitely appreciated those tips from Brody. I thought that was really good. All right, 328 feet. I honestly don't like my odds at all, but we just got to trust the form and freaking launch one. Come on. That's literally as good as I can humanly throw that disc. That disc is absolutely awful, and I think I launched it to perfection. I'm going to pull up UDisc and measure that. We may have successfully completed the 100-meter challenge with the 100-meter laser. Let's go. All right, this is where we landed. This is the other golf green, which we're really close to. I knew that was going to be a good sign. This shot measured exactly 345 feet. I threw from just in front of that golf green where that flag is over there. We landed here, and we successfully threw the 100-meter laser over 100 meters, which I feel like is a big accomplishment. I feel like a few weeks ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to do so. Let's throw it one more time just for funsies. I've been so focused on form work lately with my backhand, and the form is still fairly new and unusual to me. That was the first time that I actually did kind of the new form with proper intensity. Like I had a little bit faster run up, was a little bit more aggressive with the shot. I feel like once you can combine that good form with a little bit of aggression and explosiveness, that's where you're going to put yourself, where you're really starting to see those distance gains. It's like learning the right positions and then learning to do them explosively, which I feel like putting yourself in the right position is relatively easy. And as long as you put the time in, you're going to figure out how to be in the right position. Now it's like being in the right position while speeding everything up and doing it intensely. So we'll have to work on that over the next couple of months, I'm sure. Oh, they're feeling good today. I already know that's around 100 meters. Wow, the first few throws were pretty bad. They went like 150 to 200 feet, but once you warm up and you really unleash a few, the 100-meter laser actually doesn't go too badly. Well, all right, guys, that is the 100-meter laser. I think this disc, it's not good. It feels like crap. It's got the interchangeable dome, which I'm not sure is an intended mechanic, but with this particular disc, it is the mechanic of this particular one. It's got a nice gold shimmery foil. The edge feels like Franklin plastic, like a really horrible baseline. And then the center of the disc kind of just feels like a bad run of Gateway plastic. And you feel a bad Gateway disc. It just has that like weird, gross rubberiness to it. That's exactly what this feels like. So it's like, I'm not sure if it's an overmold. I don't think it's an overmold, but it really well and truly feels like 2 different plastics. So there's some sort of technology they used to have a different flight plate versus a different wing. I don't think it's overmold technology. The injection points are not completely obvious. I think it's just plastic poured into a mold. But the 100M laser, super fun disc to throw. I really enjoy throwing discs that nobody else on YouTube has ever thrown and reviewed. That's super fun for me. But anyway, we're going to wrap up today's episode of Weird Stuff or Weird Disc Wednesdays. So I hope you guys have been continuing to enjoy the series. As long as I can continue to source weird and unusual discs, the series must go on. I've probably got 5 or 6 more discs that are really fun and truly worth showcasing for you guys. So if you like the series, it really helps the channel. If you leave a comment, tell me you like the series so I know to keep doing it, and subscribe to the channel. Anyway, shout out to my sponsors, Berg's Disc Sports, Berg's Bags. One other shout out to my other sponsor, Disc Golf Deals USA. You can save money at their website down at the link in the description below. You guys are watching Iceberg TV. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Weird Stuff Wednesday, another episode in the books.